and as things that are under our ability to change. We know not what our tomorrow brings and whether or not we would be able to accomplish these goals. The one thing that we do know, eternal God, is that you are standing by our side. And whether we tilt to the back or forward, you're there to embrace us up. I thank you for Debbie, and I thank you for Tara. I thank you for all those that have come to our meeting, will come to our meeting, so we can get something done for the community. Our community is in distress and dire need. But sometimes our hands are tied, not our emotions, not our purpose, but our hands sometimes. Tonight, we are here to analyze and strategize to untie our hands, to ask vital questions that will be answered by our committee, our board member, our community for the advancement of our humanity. So grant tonight what we ask. Show us where we need to move. Show us what we need to say. Give us the word to construct the questions that must be asked. Lord Almighty, Father God, when we are done and we see our progress, we'll give you honor and glory for being a mighty God and an everlasting Father. Bless us, bless our community, bless our leaders, bless our board, bless us all, now and forevermore, we ask. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for that word of encouragement. So we will move on. Yeah. We will move on to accept the minutes and the agenda. The minutes of December 5th and the agenda of January 4th.
Yes, I'm pulling it up now.
I think that one of us needs to make a motion and then one of us needs to second it, and it can't be Debbie because she's the chair.
I'm just, if you have done the reading, see, here it is. I'm just pulling up so that I can see if I had written any notes to myself.
Okay.
Hold on. But Terry, if you have it, then
hold on.
Make a motion and I will second it.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for wait, did we meet in December?
December
5th. Yes, December 5th we did.
We met later, remember? It was canceled, the early one. We met later. December. It wasn't December 5th. We had a later meeting, remember? Wasn't that the one that was moved? No, you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize because
it's December 5th.
You're correct. It was moved
from November.
Back. It was the November meeting that was canceled, right?
Right.
Correct.
Because of election, yes.
All right. Yes, I moved to pass the meeting minutes.
And the agenda for tonight.
For tonight's meeting.
Yes, for tonight's meeting as well. I don't know if we need to make a motion for that, but I'll make it for both.
Okay, thank you. So
I second.
Thank you.
Yes. So we three of us, we all know each other. So I will consider that as introductions and roll call at the same time. And we're gonna move on to old business. Any other outstanding issues and updates, which I listed on here as the constant drainage system issues, zip cars, alternate side parking, car share locations in the community, ongoing parking and towing issues. DEP Capital Improvement Project, I believe, Mr. Herbert sent something to, everyone. An article or something that he had,
Is Khalid on with us tonight?
Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
am, Bishop.
Thank you.
And also the goals for 2024, which, I believe that, is to focus on some of these major issues that, we've been inundated with water and, sewer and things that are, getting to be
Outside of our,
rather problematic. I'm sorry?
outside of our control.
Yes. So, hence the reason for, the request that was made, I believe, a couple of months ago to have someone from Environmental Protection come out and provide us with a presentation based on, our concerns in the community and more or less outside, because we all neighbors when it comes to water and drainage and anything that affect us all. So yeah, so I came up with some questions pertaining to the
You're frozen, Debbie.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. I came up with some questions pertaining to, flood and mitigation based on some research that I did. So I don't know how we want to, as a committee, to compile the questions that we may have to, provide to this presenter. So I mean, if no one else wants to compile it, I will, compile it, but everyone would have to send their information to me or, to the board office, and I can submit it to Dante, because that was, the request that he provided when he sent the email about, scheduling a presenter from EP. So if you guys feel comfortable with that, it's okay. I can compile the questions and submit it to him so that he, in a timely fashion, so that he can provide, the Environmental Protection Agency with the information so that they know what our concerns are based on, the flooding and, issues that, we express concerns about. So I'm going to open up the floor to hear what everyone else has to say about what I just mentioned.
Okay. Tara, do you want to start, since you have a ton of information on what's happening in the community in terms of the water? Because over on my side, there is no problem with the water.
Okay, well, I think it's there's concerns about drainage and blockage, right? I think one of the concerns that I don't know if we need to bring it up or what exactly we need to ask, but there's a lot of dumping and washouts of concrete trucks in my area, I noticed. And you have to, like, according to Mr. Herbert, and I think it's actually the Department for Environmental Conservation, which is different. That's what I'm a little unsure of.
That's two different agencies.
Right, but it's like that's an environmental issue either too. It's like the sewer.
It is, but the presenter would be coming with regards to rainstorm and flooding and things like that. So, we need to stay focused on, that particular topic. You know, what are our concerns? Are there levees in the community? Are there pumps in the community? Where are they located? I would believe that those are the things we need to know, and not just as a committee, but as a community board, so that we can provide that information to you know, to people in the community, so that they know if they have a question and they reach out to the board has that information that they can provide.
I think that's all on maps. There's maps for all of that that
There
already
are maps,
exist.
but we don't know if those maps are, you know, updated.
Have been updated, yes.
Based on my research, I know that FEMA maps, they are not, you know, updated. You
So
have
is the that's coming to speak to us, are they a federal agent? Are they a city agent? Like what
more than
exactly is
likely it's a city agency. It's the environmental protection
of
New York City, yeah. So, you know, questions that pertain to the concerns that we have within the community, and what areas are flood zones, and you know, I believe that, you know, they should have, you know, that information, and people should, you know, be, you know, informed about, you know, what's where, and especially in a community that, you know, we do get a lot of water, and you know, flooding in areas that, you know,
well, what
when it
about
rains.
So Debbie,
Yes.
in your research, did you come across the member of the city council that might be knowledgeable about this water situation in Community Board 9? I know we have council member that is in charge of education and elderly and mental health. Is there one for environment?
Well, I'm sure that there is someone, yeah.
Who is that person?
We can, I'm sorry?
Do we know who that person is?
I'm not sure who spearheads the
Me
committee
neither.
for that, you know, for that agency, or, you know, within the council.
Within the
But I'm
council,
sure
right?
that there is someone that does that, just like education and, you know, the other issues
The
that may
other
come up. But
agencies that are there.
yeah.
So Debbie, I'm suggesting that we try to locate the name of that individual, whoever that individual might be, and just make a phone call to say, are you aware? And then formulate our questions for what we would like to ask. What are you aware of that you can tell us, so we can ask this environmental person that's coming in? You see what I'm saying?
But I think the environmental person may have more information than the council person.
But the environmental person, you're right, might have more information, but our council
should have
person
more information than the
right.
council
But
person.
our council person is the person that we have access to, and we would want to know what are your concerns. If somebody gets shot, okay, the council member will come out. Somebody gets hit by a car, the council member will come out. Any kind of disruption in the community, Debbie, the council member comes out. When it's a water situation, are they coming out, and what are they dealing with? I mean, are they writing legislation for this? That's what we need to know.
well,
Because I've never seen a council member.
I believe that there's a capital plan in place, which is what Mr. Herbert sent.
well, I'm looking at the New York City Council website and the Committee on Environmental Protection, Resiliency, and Waterfronts. The following members serve on this committee. None. There's no names.
No name?
It appears as though there's no city council person serving on this committee, according to the New York City Council.
I would believe it.
Seems like nobody's.
Tara, I would believe that, because recently in October, I think, when even the train line was shut down. I
No
didn't
one-
hear from
No one
a
came
council
out.
member.
Yeah.
Nobody
And
came.
I think that should be an issue across the
Yes.
board. It's not just one person. They should all, be involved in that topic.
Correct.
There's a committee just like this, there should be a committee, right? With a
But
few
I
members.
will inquire further because, tomorrow I'll do some research and see who I
And
can
so-
call and
That will help us to formulate the question, why isn't there one? And then we can say how important it is for us to have one, given the fact that construction is going on and the waste from cement is going down to clog up, our drainage, but there's no one raising any issue about it. So we would need to know.
Yeah, I'd also talk about air quality, air pollutants in the meeting, discuss that, because it's really difficult to know how we're measuring air pollution in our district. I think as more exposure, and there's also questions concerning the new City of Yes rules with the additional businesses that they're gonna put into the communities, and if they change the zoning within your building, you could have some toxic business, right? I'm pretty concerned about that because toxic, air quality causes effects that you aren't instantly apparent and they tend to be in some neighborhoods are more prone to have these problems than other neighborhoods. As you know, in this neighborhood, there's some big problems with that. And with the development and with the new businesses, we're exposed. There's more, say, I know in my neighborhood, there's like across the street on Bedford, up near the Armory, there's a facility there that does a lot of spray painting, right? This contains chemicals that affect our youth. And then our youth, this is proven, our youth have problems.
Did you share that information with the community board, Ms. Westerdahl?
Yeah, it's sure, I'll share it with all of you, but I think that we need to talk about that with whoever comes.
What are they spraying though? What are they spraying?
Well, it's like a building where they spray paint cars in there. They're constantly.
Of course, and that's their job.
And that's what they do there.
Yeah, but I understand that, but we don't want more of that. And there's also systems to take care of that air, right? Like to filter the air so it's not blowing right into people's apartments. Okay. So it's really, hey, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what we can do to protect ourselves and the youth from toxic fumes,
Okay, we don't need, right now we are off the track. And we need to get back on track because, we can't be talking about one thing and then, just go and talk about something else. We can, we have to stay on the topic that we want to get someone to come out to present on. And if they can present on that as well, we can also include that in the presentation.
Environmental protection is air quality. That's really.
And I am not denying that, Ms. Westerdahl. I just said that we need to stay on the topic that we have on the agenda. I'm not saying that we cannot include the air quality in there. However, we need to focus on, the request that we've made for someone to come out and present.
And the questions we'd like to ask.
And the questions that we would like to ask. Yes.
If we can just finish with the inquiry and who's the council member that would be responsible for that. And if none, then we're asking, is there someone that we can talk to regarding that? Because we want to frame our question intelligently for the environmental person that's coming. That's first on the agenda. We looked and I didn't think there was any, because when they had the big flood over here, nobody showed up.
Right.
So
Yeah,
now
I
we
remember
just
that.
need to know, if there is none, to whom can we speak about this? Because if there's no one, maybe we need to know someone, and then we can, join with that person in finding out what we need to do, or what we need to know about what's happening with the drainage.
Because
Right?
more than likely what would happen with that is that it's going to be directed to EP.
Exactly.
And that's what's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. But we never get the question again, what did we do? Then we'll be able to say, this is what we did, this is what we found out, this is what's going on.
So, we need to pretty much be open to to get that, response that you should be contacting the environmental protection.
Correct.
So, like I say, I can follow up to see if there is, a
There's
chair
one
for that, for the environmental protection area, but I think that that's where that's gonna go. So, saying that, I believe that we should still come up with the questions that we have as a committee.
Correct.
Or we would like to have answered, because it is, it's becoming more of a concern with all the rain that we've been getting, and the flooding, because the water has nowhere to go. So it's a number of things when you when you research the topic, it tells you of the different ways in which the water is supposed to drain. And there is I can't remember the name, but it's called, there is a it's like a flooding, I don't want to say it's a template, or but it's like a plan that they use in the past in certain states. It's called, I want to say that I wrote some information down on that.
Stormwater management system design guidelines, stormwater management.
It's called the and the pronunciation of the name. But
I mean, there's wastewater, there's stormwater.
Yeah. And I believe a lot of it has to do with the whole climate change and all these things. But, as I say, when you do your own research, you pretty much kind of, get information that you probably would never have gotten just, on that topic. But it's a plan that they have laid out as to how, how stormwater should run off. And, it has to do with development and, all these things. So it's, I can't remember the name of the,
it's stormwater management.
The project, yeah. But it's, they used it in a few states, and they said that it worked.
No,
but I don't know about New York, where it's inundated with development.
It's being very clear to me. I'm very unclear about what you're
having a phone for us. What does that mean?
No, because he didn't. Be a little more clear.
I'm sorry.
I'm not understanding what you are getting at here.
What is it that you did not understand?
What you're talking about?
Can you be specific? I mean, I don't know. I was just talking about the research that I was doing, and I came up with this project that, you know, they were using in other states as
What,
to
what,
how
what, pro-
water should be drained.
what project, so I can write it down and look at it?
I have to look for the name of the it's a specific um I thought I wrote it down in my notes here, but
Well, could you send it to me later or send it to the board so
uh,
and then I'll research it too? Thank you. I'd love to know
and
what you're talking about. I could look it up right now. I've got my computer out. Got the internet open. On the environmental protection page for New York City. And I'm seeing for stormwater management.
say that again.
I'm on the environmental protection, the water environment page, environmental protection page, drinking water, wastewater, stormwater, New York City waterways, stormwater management, combined sewer overflows, municipal separate storm sewer system, green infrastructure, the Blue Belt program. Is that what you are interested in?
No. This was called the Anna. I'm not sure that I can.
Is it's nothing to do with New York City, it's another state? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a drainage system that they use. I can't remember the state either. I was just reading up on a lot of stuff and I came across the name and I thought I wrote it down here, but I don't have it on this paper here. So I'm gonna have to
Is this like a drainage system or something else?
it has to do with a layout of a plan of how water should be drained. Like
Control.
it should be like not concrete in areas. It should be, you know, like soil and so that the water can be absorbed. So it's like a whole layout of, you know, the whole process. I'd have to I'd have to come up with that name again. Tomorrow I'll you know, try to come up with it. But it made a lot of sense. I'm not sure that New York is designed, you know, to, because there's a lot of concrete in New York. So it would make it more difficult for water to be absorbed. So that's why, you know, the water tend to, you know, back up, I guess, the way it does, which, you know, they more than likely need to figure out how, you know, the best way to have that water, you know, drained out in a way that, you know, people are not affected by the whole process. But
Talking about instead of having concrete, replacing it with like underwater drainage system, trees, parks.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Like for
It
example, that spot over on Empire in Washington by the Western Beef and Dunkin' Donuts, that could
yeah.
have really a good example of this, of like designing drainage where water could be held under, but
Yeah.
instead it's just a big slab of concrete with a couple of trees.
Yeah. That it's problematic when there's too much concrete. That's what the whole explanation of how the, you know, that process works. You know, you have to have where, you know, like soil and, you know, like gardens and things like that where the water can, you know, absorb. And, you know, it's not a lot of that, you know, in our community. So,
Like
you know,
sustainable drainage system
yes. So it makes it more difficult for the water
to prevent runoff, so it's not just like all going in. That's what tree beds are supposed to be for, you know.
exactly. Yeah, that's all of those things were part of the whole process of how the water is supposed to be, you know, maintained. But in New York, you know, you have a lot of concrete and which makes it difficult to, retain the water, and not keeping the drains clear, it is another problem. So, on top of the not being able to absorb the water and the drains are clogged up, it makes it more difficult to makes the process more difficult. But it was quite an interesting piece article that I was reading. I think it was just a couple of days ago. So yeah. So but I would like to know more or less, me personally, what where the are there pumps in the community? Where are they located? What is the whole process of how, the water is supposed to flow, so that, in the event that, this happens again, you have an idea, you can be prepared. If you're not aware, you're not prepared. And, I don't know that, it makes much sense, that, you hear that, oh, it's going to be a storm and it's coming. And, if you can prepare yourself, it's a good way of, let's say, getting things together, whether it's your household, whether it's a community, or getting a group of people together to, inform people what they should be doing. But, quite often you hear about a storm coming, but you don't know what it entails until it happens. And, in most cases, it's too late to do anything by the time, we're inundated with all that water, and the capacity that we can contain, it supersedes that. So, what do you do? What is New York City government doing to, in that instance, I haven't heard anybody speak up on it. And it's something that needs to be discussed. And, people need to become, aware of what they can and what they cannot do. And, I think that would be helpful. So that's where my concern is, in terms of, getting people information that they need, that they probably would not have gotten, elsewhere. So I don't know. I'm going to allow you guys to give your input, because I think I've given enough.
I gave mine. Like I said, we need to know if there's a council member. If there's not a council member, who do we turn to? And if there is information, we need to know how we can address the environmental person that is coming, what question we want to ask that person. But we know
Well,
for sure.
I would think the questions that we would want to ask are the questions that are more concerning to us, as individuals of a committee, and, or advocating on behalf of the community ourselves.
Mhm.
We are not, I don't think that we should be dependent on any council member to, to do that for us.
No, not to do it.
As you mentioned, you've checked and you didn't see anyone there. So it means that maybe there's no one spearheading that committee right now.
Then
I'm
what
not
do
sure
we
whether
do?
that's a committee that's up and running. That would be something else to find out. But at
Right.
the same time, as a community board, if we have concerns about that, I think that we should just pose a question and have somebody come and, respond to those questions.
Well, that question would
That's
be,
a start. Yeah.
why don't we have a city council member
Uh-huh.
for the environmental conditions?
Well, that's a good question too, but a good question to ask whom? Should we ask the speaker that of the council? Why isn't there? Well, you know what? Well, let me do some research and find out exactly why isn't there a person that's spearheading that committee.
Okay.
And then at the same time, I think that we should just come up with questions that are concerning to us about the things that happen in our community. I don't think we should wait on any council member to, provide us with information or tell us that we need to reach out to DEP to get those questions answered. So.
Oh, no, I wasn't suggesting that at all. I was
Okay.
saying we want to ask if there is someone there. And if there's no one there, the question is why?
Okay, so yeah, so that I mean I can redo that research and come up with, information on that. And I can share it with you guys so that at least we know what, who, what, when, why, and how,
Well,
there's. Yes, go ahead, Ms.
You
Wesley.
frozen, Debbie.
I think what you may be talking about too is the green infrastructure that that the city's building. There's available to look at an interactive map of green infrastructure projects that are happening in our neighborhoods. I see this on the New York City Environmental Protection website. Another thing is rain gardens, types of green infrastructure that they're creating now, as well as like green roof, retrofit grants, resilient partners. There's money now. Financial
so that's more than likely a part of the capital project.
Can I finish? There's like financial incentives for installing green infrastructure. So all those things we could ask about, but there's a lot of information I think we might look at on the environmental protection, NYC environmental protection website. It's pretty good. I mean, in the past, one of the members of this committee, before Debbie was chair, there was a gentleman who was very interested in the rain gardens and the underground gardens, and he there was a map that he showed us all of what's happening in our area. And I think this is the interactive infrastructure map, green infrastructure, that would help with the flooding. Like, obviously we don't have enough of it. We could ask, just like questions like what's happening exactly in our area.
Okay, so based on the information that's on there, maybe what we can do is just have someone come and present and let us present to us on what is happening, what is a part of that whole project, the capital plan, what aspect of it is going to be taking place in our community, so we know in terms of, flooding and drainage, if that's a part of the whole, plan. Because it seems as though there is, a capital project going on with all this greenery and things like that. But where is it happening? It would be good to know.
If you look at this map, this interactive map, you can look at our district, CB9. Like, you could see like our area, and you will see that we have very little completed. There's like right of way constructed.
Yeah.
Like, and final design, and we have most everything in our area. We have very little like near the park, and the rest of it is yellow dots, which means under construction. Already constructed is areas surrounding us, like it looks like East New York has a lot, Prospect Heights, but in our area it seems to be very little happening.
So maybe the other thing to do is to have the person come out and present on this project, on this capital plan, which I think that's what that is. And, how is that going to affect our community? What is it? How is it going to help us? What does it do to, contain the waters, the inundated amount of water that we've been receiving? So, maybe that's something that we need to have them come and address, and then we can, figure out,
it looks like we have one rain garden in our district, only one. that I can see on this map. It's a bit abysmal, and it's on Nostrand Avenue.
On
Nostrand and what?
I'm trying to. It just says. It looks like it's on Nostrand between Lenox and Clarkson. It's the only one.
Lennox and Clarkson.
There's a garden there?
No, it's like a rain garden, you know, like a rain garden, which is really not exactly a garden, but it's like it's kind of underground. Like it kind of absorb. It's like above. It looks like a little,
Okay,
like a small garden, but underneath it's designed to absorb it. I know when I visited Cornell, and Cornell had quite a great example of how they use parking lots, how you can redesign parking lots in urban areas and concrete areas to create these rain gardens where it gets absorbed into the soil, and it create, you know, when you have plants there, it's better than just dumping the water straight in. It's quite interesting. But we
Okay,
don't
so I think you know,
yeah,
based on what I'm hearing here, I think it's the best way for them to just come out and present so that we know what's going on in the community based on their capital
yeah, we
project,
got
which is
very,
what I want to call it. And then we
very
can, you know, move forward and say, well, you know, how do we contain the level of water that's, you know, not being, you know, absorbed in the community, and what's, you know, what can be done, you know, to alleviate that. So
any
that sounds
particular
good.
that we're concerned about with flooding.
I'm sorry.
Is there any particular area in the neighborhood that we could mention that we're concerned about flooding? I know there's a lot of basement flooding, and
Well, I would think the entire community, we want to know what, you know, what, as opposed from one area to another, what, you know, where.
well, for example, right where I live on Sullivan Place, I know I've never had any flooding. I'm a little bit on a hill on one side of the
But
street.
you're on a hill. Yeah, you're
I'm
inclined.
just a little bit, but right across the street, they have had their basements flood a lot. And I know on Sterling, they've had basement flooding as well recently, like quite a few people in that area having basement flooding. Recent, like never before recent. So
Right. Well, I think that the level of rain that came out, and some of those people, they had some backup. So, you know, what their what they couldn't contain in their yard went over to the neighbors, and that's what happened. But
Wow.
yeah.
do you have that issue with your in your area, Bishop? Anybody getting flooding that you
No,
heard of?
no. What happened the last big flood that they had here? It was the train station,
Yeah,
number 2, number 3 train station
right.
was flooded.
Really?
And I think it came down to us.
What
It
stop
wasn't
was that? What stop was that?
the
Was
number
that president?
Nostrand, Franklin, coming down.
Yeah.
Nostrand, Franklin. I think it might have happened at Kingston too, because you know they have to bring buses to take the
Yes.
passengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so subway flooding, people's basements flooding in that area. I know Rod Herbert at one time, remember, a neighbor of his came and they were having flooding in that area to the point where
He had some flooding over there as well.
what that's like
That's on Troy, and where does he live? Somewhere over there.
that's like that's Flatbush, right? East Flatbush?
East, yeah, East New York area going over the east, yeah.
I don't think it's East New York. I think it's East Flatbush. I think East New York you have to go across.
Well, there's a East New York Avenue going across that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so it's in that area over by Troy over there.
we
There's
have
a
to
bunch
focus.
of houses over there.
on what's within CB9, right? Okay, so that's a couple of things we can bring up, like it's
And I
good to have.
think also there's a lot of water, the flooding over by there's a playground over there, and I know I was over there one day. I was going to the supermarket on East New York Avenue over there, and Ideal Supermarket, and there was so much water just coming from, I don't know where it was coming from. It was, that whole area was flooded. So there's,
Wow.
area, yeah. So there are different areas in the community that, gets a lot of water, and it would be good to know what is causing that, and how can,
The
how
layout
can
for the
we,
drainage.
yeah.
What's the layout for the drainage?
Right. So those are some of the questions that we want to know. Where is this water going, and how do you, get, how much of that water is contained where it's supposed to go? Because a lot of times you see ponding in the area, and you look and there's no drain for the water to go anywhere. So I know on Sterling here, there's outside the apartment building, there's always a big ponding of water there. And, neighbors have been sweeping it out, and it's like, it just sits there. So, and I've noticed walking around with all the leaves just sitting on top of the drains, the one that's especially
Yes.
along Nostrand Avenue, just sitting up there. I don't know if sanitation is supposed to sweep it up when they pick up the garbage, but it just sits there in a pile, and it just, it becomes like, a whole, pile of, just junk just sitting there. And so there's a lot of things that needs to be done in order to resolve this issue, but we want to hear from, more or less about the water situation, and, what is happening with within CB9 with this capital plan that they have. If there's only one thing located on Nostrand and Clarkson, I mean, I find that rather strange. So we would need to know whether there are anywhere else. So those are the things that I would like to know. I can't speak for you guys, but it's important to know where these things are located in the community.
That's correct.
So if anyone has, any additional information, maybe we can
I think that's a start.
come up with something and firm it up to know, exactly what we would like to know more about. So if we can come up with maybe a few sentences to say, or some type of a summary to say, okay, we are concerned about,
Did you say it
what
was a capital plan?
I believe that it's a capital project that they're doing, because I think the information Mr. Herbert sent out, it had to do with a capital project, that they are doing. So I don't know if that's all a part of the same thing, but it would be good to know.
And the only garden we know of is the one on what did she say, Nostrand Avenue? Tara, what did you say on?
Yeah, I'm sending you both, and Murad too. I'm sending you a link to this interactive map for you to have a look at, because it's very interesting. You should have a look at it. It's pretty easy to use, and also the environmental protection website link, so you all can have the green interactive map. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you look at it. I'm going to send it. I'm just typing out the subject.
Okay, so, before we close the meeting, I want to know what are your thoughts on, we want to do with this presentation, about this presentation?
Just what we're doing, formulating the question that we want to ask. What is the layout for the drainage? Is the capital project going to provide some insight for us to be able to look at in terms of what is going to happen? And I think in the question we can lay out what happened when the subway flooded, and the bus had to come. Over here, I didn't hear of anyone basement flooding. We didn't have that, but you had some in your corridor. So,
yeah,
we can put that together and make it one solid put together question for the environmental people. In the meanwhile, you're going to do that research on whether or not we
with
have
the
someone
council.
in the council, right?
Right. So are we saying that we want to, include Mr. Herbert on this, on the question that pertaining to the presentation?
When
Just
does he
ask-
come? Is he
just
coming back?
He should be coming back soon,
Okay,
according to what he said, yes.
so we can reach out to him, maybe in an email, to just say this is what we're doing, and then we can forward whatever piece of the question, what we want to send, and then we just compile it and be ready for the environmentalists when they come.
Okay, so yeah, because we would have to submit that to Dante and
Dante, yes,
and he would, I guess, take care of the scheduling of the presentation.
right.
Yeah. So okay, so we can do that.
It's a big start.
Yeah, we can do that and just get that started so that we can have someone come out before I want to say before the or by the January, or I mean by the February or March meeting, because
yes,
time is I think this is a leap year, so if you think it ran last year, it's going to be flying
faster this year.
Yeah. So yeah, so we'll share the information with Mr.
Herbert.
I can reach out to him and send him an email, informing him what we spoke about, and to see if he has any feedback in terms of what this question or should be, and try to compile it that way.
Right.
And if anyone else has any information, they can always send it over as well. So we can submit the information to Dante, hopefully by sometime before the general board meeting.
General board meeting, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, we've got time because our meeting is early. And please go to that meeting. There wasn't quorum at the last meeting, so a lot of people's there were quite a few people there for SLA licenses, like small business people, and it was pretty sad that they weren't able to vote on their licenses.
Are you speaking about the December meeting?
Yeah, I encourage you both to come to the next meeting so we can have
Okay,
quorum.
well, the thing about it is I've spoken to them before about the way they schedule December meetings. People are out of town.
That's right.
And they should schedule those meetings within the first 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
Of December. But I don't know what happened this time, but they know most of the time that people are out of town. So, they have to do a better job at scheduling those meetings,
Who?
ahead of,
How,
the time,
who are you,
especially the week of, Christmas. You don't schedule a meeting on that week. People are going out of town. People are traveling, so it makes it difficult to, get a quorum, have a quorum.
yeah, I think business has to be done on the community board, and it's,
So hopefully everyone will be there at this meeting coming up this month,
it's gonna
you know,
go,
to,
it's so late, because of,
to get those,
all the,
licenses, yeah,
all the backup.
yeah.
It's gonna be tough. Be prepared. Bring a
Well,
bottle of,
hopefully people will not, stray off the topic and the agenda. And I think that has a lot to do with, what takes
Yes,
place and all the
yes,
distractions and all these things, so that plays a part of, all of the times where we went beyond the time that we scheduled. But if it's in person, if it's at the school, time is limited. So, people have to pay attention to that as well and be mindful that, people have to work the next day and, not just come out and be a distraction to the meeting. And, that's helpful. So, okay. So I will, as I said, tomorrow, reach out to council and find out about, the EP, whether there's an EP committee in place and who is the chair, if there's a chair. And, I'll, share the information. And then I'll again reach out to Mr. Herbert and, see what he has, what input he has. And, maybe we can just share the information and, try to compile something together, on the presentation topic.
that's right.
How is that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. If there are no further questions, I will move to adjourn the meeting
oh, no,
at
there's a couple of things I wanted to discuss.
8:20. Go ahead, Ms.
No,
Westerdahl.
you have to, you can't move to adjourn the meeting. It has to be, Bishop or I, by the way. Chair can't make a
Okay,
motion.
Ms. Westerdahl, go ahead and say what are you making
Well, a couple of things I want to discuss is, few people have talked to me, asked me about the composting and the brown bins. And it seems like brown bins are not being distributed anymore and people didn't get them and people are getting their brown bins stolen. And you're supposed to be able to use another bin and put a sticker on it, but sanitation isn't picking those up. I've experienced that myself. So, and I know other people have had the same experience where they may pick up the brown bin, but if you haven't been given a brown bin, right? If you didn't get one, you forgot, or somebody stole yours, they're supposed to pick it up if there's a sticker.
Did
And
you reach out to sanitation to find out what is the protocol if there's no bin?
Yeah, I know the protocol, but I think other people are having an issue with it in our community. So we need to somehow reach out, and I would like us to do, as a committee, I would like us to have a brown bin giveaway sometime, like, when that fair, like, actually, Debbie, they asked that you, the chair people, discuss with their committees the fair. So I'm thinking the fair's a long way off. The fair or another event where we have a brown bin giveaway for our community, because it seems like a great need where we could help out. And if there's a way we could find out how to do that, would be kind of
Okay,
easy.
so what you need to do, you need to reach out to the board office and put in a request to find out how we can get bins to those people. If you have a list of names, you should provide them so that
Can
if
I plan an event, like, to do that?
Ms. Westerdahl, this is a need that they need to have these bins now. If that's what you're speaking about, you need to reach out to the board office so that they can reach out to those people
Reach
that
out
you're
to what?
speaking about with that do not have the bins. Because I know that there was a link that they could go on there and request the bins themselves.
Well, that's
That's
done.
how I got mine.
Yeah, me too, but it's not happening anymore. I looked.
Okay, so then the board office needs to reach out to Department of Sanitation, or Dante can bring it up at the district service cabinet meeting or the borough service cabinet meeting and have them, explain what would be the next step in terms of obtaining another bin from the ones that got stolen or the ones that never received one.
Yeah, you can only order stickers now. That's it.
You can only do what?
Yeah.
Order stickers. That's all you can do is order stickers. You can't get the bins anymore. But I would like to have another bin giveaway for CB9 since I think more people want them. I think
Okay,
it's
so we are
where
going
are
to
we
do
gonna
that.
get the bins?
We are
It's
going to do that
So-
through the board office. If we cannot get it, then I guess we'll have to get the stickers.
Excuse me, Debbie.
So Khalid, can you
Sure.
elaborate on that?
Yes, so the DSNY, Department of Sanitation, had a giveaway. The deadline was, I believe, in the late middle of November. No, not in December. It was not in December, but it was a chance for people to sign up for bins. We put it, try to share it out with community.
Okay.
In terms of the sticker, I haven't heard about that, but I'll follow up with Dante. I can reach out DSNY myself and find out what is the protocol for brown bins. I reached out to DSNY because someone did complain about that. If I don't have a brown bin, would they still take it? I referred them to a bin that looks similar to the compost bin,
Yeah.
and they haven't had no issues. But being that Miss Westerdahl brought us up, I'll follow up with Dante and see if there's a protocol that I don't know about. That maybe we could that could be put forward to help community members dealing with this issue.
And
Yeah,
are you aware that there are no more bins?
Yeah,
So
can,
so DSNY, they stopped the giveaway.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Are you aware
Yes.
that there are no more bins?
Yes, there
To
there
give
isn't
out?
no more bin giveaways.
Okay, okay,
So DSNY had an initiative going on when they were giving it away if you signed up and they'll deliver to your home. That
okay,
is
yeah,
now that was over 2 months ago, has now been,
okay,
but
okay,
There-
because
I
yeah,
don't know
there-
if there's anything else that happened. Excuse me. Uh, if there isn't anything else, I could find out tomorrow to see what other bins could be used to be alternative for the brown bins.
yeah,
and
it's
and if
so
you can find out about the stickers as well, that would be helpful.
anybody can order a sticker. I'm telling you, I already know this information.
Okay.
Lee
With
doesn't
the
have to
sticker, Ms. Westerdahl, is that DSNY issued?
just go to the website. You type in compost bins, NYC sanitation. It comes right up. You can only order the stickers now. But the problem is using like we got 2 stickers. We put them on a bin. We have a lot of trees, so we had a lot of waste, and they didn't pick up we had just a regular bin, and we put the stickers on. They didn't pick it up. They didn't pick it up again. But then luckily we got a brown bin, and we got a small one, unfortunately, and they'd pick up just the brown bin, but not the big bin. So we had a lot of leaves, so what we'd have to sit there and wait for them to come. Finally, we were able to catch them. But I mean, this is a problem other neighbors are having, where you put the stickers on, but they only are picking up the brown bin. So I don't know. I think,
Okay.
it's a,
Normally,
this is another
normally, if I put something out on my block and it's not picked up, I call the headquarters and I let them know what the situation is, and they said, "Where are you located?" And someone comes. I don't know what happens on your block or in your area, but that's what I do. I call the district or a location, and I speak with someone, and they ask for the address, and they come and they pick it up. I don't,
could you share that number with us all right
whether
now?
it's leaves or whatever it is. Let me just find my phone.
Can you share the number? Yeah, I think everybody doesn't know, but I think that one of the issues is that it's very popular now, and people see other people putting out the brown bins, and they're like, "Where's mine? I didn't get one. I forgot. I want one now." So because of its popularity, people want more. So I think we'd be doing a great service to ask for more, to see if they'll do another giveaway, if we can do a giveaway at the fair. I mean, I think that would be just a good thing to do. A helpful, kind of easy thing, you know, just to ask for more. I mean, just like worded in a kind way, like, you know, the compost program has been a great success in our neighborhood. People are finding themselves without bins now and they want them. Is there any way we can get more or have a giveaway? I'm, you know, just giving feedback, I think, some way. I don't know who to give that to or how, but what do you think, Khalid?
In terms of
I
what?
think maybe if you get a list of the names of the people that is looking to get a bin, and
Mhm.
maybe
Listen,
we can
I'm
share
gonna do
that
that.
with them.
And get a list of every person that wants a bin. I know it's a need, and I'm sure people will sign up for it. I'm not getting a list, and I'm not having them all
Okay.
call board. That's a waste of time. Let's just give a bin, give the bins away. You know, just see who
So
signs up. It's like we did with the rain barrel. Remember that? The rain barrel giveaway that the EP committee did before you were here, Debbie, was very successful.
But Khalid already said to you that there are no more bins. What is it that you
They
want?
can get more. That's my point, is get
there's no
more.
the bin giveaway is over.
Yeah,
So
but
I have to follow up with I'll have to
Miss
follow
Westerdahl, allow him to speak.
let's request another.
Miss Westerdahl, can you allow him to speak?
Sure.
Thank
Can
you. Go
Okay.
ahead, Khalid.
So the Department of Sanitation's initiative for the compost bin giveaway.
I can't understand you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, so you can hear me now. Okay. So DSNY had the initiative, it's over now. They aren't giving away no more bins. Not to say that they don't have any more bins. I'm not that agency. I can't speak to what they have at their agency. What I'll do is follow up tomorrow to see if there's anything that could be done for people that are in need of compost bins. In terms of the sticker, I'm looking it up and I do not see a sticker issued by Department of Sanitation.
I
Look
haven't
at
seen
If
any
you
of
could,
those myself.
if you
I
could send that to
I
the board email, please, so that we can share it out to the community so they know. But in terms of sanitation and their initiatives, what I know what they told us, and the compost bins is now initiative is now over. Not to say they don't have any more. It's not to say they do. I don't know, but I'll have to follow up with them to see what could be done.
yeah, they did
Thank
have
you,
an
Khalid.
wait,
So I ask if you can please email me that link where you have the stickers.
yeah, there
The
is
sticker.
there was an additional giveaway at the Brooklyn Children's Museum. Like after they said there weren't any more, there was one, you know, that
Ms.
I
Westerdahl, we are not going to do this back and forth. Khalid will follow up and he will get the information to us. I'd like to provide you with the information for District North 9. The number is 718-284-2467.
so
And
what
that's
is
for
that?
718-284-2467.
2467?
And that's for DSNY Brooklyn North 9.
DSNY
Brooklyn North 9.
Yeah.
And it is now 8:32 p.m. I'd like to,
Can you give that can you give that number out somehow, Khalid, on a so everybody can have it, not just me and Debbie and a few people? I would like everybody to have it. Share.
Okay.
Can
If
you
you could
no,
please just
Khalid is
request.
not going to do that. If they have an issue, they should reach out to the board office.
Khalid, can you have that ready to give people if they call you? I mean, I don't know why we can't share information freely.
They should contact the board office if it's a community issue, and they will reach out to the sanitation. I'm sharing it with you as a committee member, and they should reach out to the board office if they have any questions or concern.
So can we talk about the fair as well? We're supposed to talk about that in our meeting this time.
Ms. Westerdahl, that is not on the agenda. I'd like to adjourn this meeting at this time. It is now 8:33 p.m.
You
I'd like to
cannot,
put a motion on the floor to
needs
adjourn
to
this
put-
meeting.
you can't put a motion on the floor, Bishop, or I have to. Just, I want to follow
Okay,
Rob.
so Bishop, can you put a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting, please? Thank you. It's 8:33 PM.
Tara, what it is that you want to talk about what it is that you want to continue the meeting for, Tara?
The fair,
Oh,
nothing about the fair is on the agenda.
Oh, even, well, don't we have new business section in the agenda? Or no, you're just like not doing it? New business? No new
On
business?
new
But it's
business,
not
it
there
was
for new
about the
business either.
presentation for the information to put together for the EP presenter.
Well, at the general board meetings, I've heard them talk about the fair, and we had the fair last year and we didn't do anything. So I'm just, they said talk
Ms.
about it.
Westado, can we
Can
please
we,
talk about that another day, another time?
Well, I
Thank
just
you.
want to put it on the table, like I want us to just have it. I want to talk about it for a minute. Can I please talk
Ms.
about it?
West,
in
no,
business?
no, I'm not going to do that. I am not
What-
going to do that. Not
Why not?
tonight. If you would like to have it on the agenda at the next meeting, I'd be happy to do that.
Debbie, whenever I send you anything to add to the agenda, you never write back to me or add it.
If you send it late, it's not going to get on the agenda. If the agenda has already been sent out, it's not going to get on there.
I'm
Thank
asking
you.
you now to put it on the next agenda. Can you add it to the next agenda to
What is
discuss?
it that you would like to add to the next agenda?
I'd like to talk about an event that we do, the
Can you
environmental,
send me in, please send me
or-
information on,
or the fair, or something that we do.
send me information on there prior to,
Just have ideas, have some fun.
send me some information prior to, so that I can look at it. And, I'd be more than happy to,
I hope that happens, because when I've sent you things in the past, I do not hear
Ms.
back.
Westado, please don't do that. Don't do that, because you did that once and you sent it after the fact.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is. And I'm not going to be back and forth with you. Bishop, can
Okay.
you put a motion on the
Yes.
floor to adjourn the meeting?
yes,
This
you
is
have
not going to
agreed,
happen at my meetings, Ms. Westado.
yeah. You have agreed, Debbie, that, Tara could send you information, what she would like to be on the agenda, and you'll be more than willing to put it on for the next meeting. So I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting, and whatever information you have, we can accommodate it for the next meeting.
And please, when the information that you're going to send me, make sure all of the details are including in the information that you're talking about, so that we are not all over the place. I would appreciate it. Thank you. So Bishop, your motion is on the floor?
Yes. For it to be adjourned, for the meeting to be adjourned.
Seconded.
Thank you.
Thank you
Happy
very much.
See you
So
next time.
it's
See you at the,
8:37 PM. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Khalid?
Yes,
Okay, so you have some notes for me?
yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Welcome. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a good
Happy
evening.
New Year.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.